Well, you're getting a good look at the McDonald's. We're heading back from Addie's baptism. She's all baptized now. Her and God are square. They're good. I do want to spend the rest of the day. It's snowing here. Just a miserable day. It's cold. -4, but it feels much colder. Hey, shh. Don't be silly. I want to run through the 3-year-olds real quick with you and get these videos out of the way. I got the bulk of the most important ones done, but I do have to get them all done. Shh. Adeline, shh. Hey, don't do that. Don't do that. Especially don't do that. No, you're never touching them again. Can you hold those, please? My apologies. We're back now with the 3-year-olds. I'm going to give everybody another big update because some of these horses are qualified, schooled, ready to go, and some of them are going to be leaving, quite frankly. Almost Their Boss, he really shocked me the other day. I didn't know this horse was that good. Harry said he was training good. He looked good. Harry always plays his cards pretty close to his chest. Now, I don't know. I had an awful strong hold on a horse for 26-3. I need that to be verified. I mean, he was flying. But 26-3 with a bow in your neck is quite a last quarter on a kind of a cold day. So Almost Their Boss was really, really, really good the other day qualifying. Hey, Addie, can you play with your cars? You don't have to talk. You don't need voiceovers. Thank you. No. So Almost Their Boss, very, very good in his qualifier. Whether Harry qualifies him again online, shush, please. Whether Harry decides to requalify him or race him, that'll be up to him, and either will be fine with me. Diener trained good, made a little break down the backstretch the other day, a little shoeing change to come in at Northfield, but no boots, no poles, no hobbles, just brace bandages behind. Man, this horse has come a long way. I can't wait to see how he is this summer. Arches Rainbow's been in 2.6. She trained in I know it was 2.6 because I was cutting the mile out with High Gear No Fear. I was cutting the mile out with High Gear No Fear, and she coasted right up alongside me down lane. Now, obviously, I let her up alongside me, but no noises, no little flutter, but we had her scoped after, and her throat looked very good. So, very good green light across the board. All green lights for Arches Rainbow. She'll need another 1 or 2 or 3. Adeline, I asked you twice, sweetie. Come on. No, you be quiet, please. And Ollie, stop getting her going. So Arches Rainbow, pretty much ready to go. Gonna need 2 or 3 or 4 fast miles, but she's pretty much ready to go. Betterby Sawyer missed a week. She'll be back in Flamborough last week. She had 4 weeks in a row, and she kind of got roughed up a little last week. And that's not to say anything wrong with the way Travis drove the filly. It was either continue on as he was going or take her to the back. I'm glad he made front. I wish we had maybe cut the favorite goat loose when he came, but that's racing. She'll be back at them next week. Blue Bayou Dio is ready to school now, man. She looks like a powerhouse this year. Dominic is rather enamored with her. He's got some good horses in his barn, and I think that maybe she's quietly his favorite. She was very, very good the other day training. Bomb Hugger's training good in Ohio. Still didn't get that. And somebody sent me the New York calendar. I got to look it up again and see when her first stake is. We're just got her in idle right now. She's ready to go and probably go in the bike and train any kind of mile whenever we want to, but no point having her ready any earlier than right before her first stake race. So a couple of weeks before her first slated stake race, we'll probably fire her up and get her going. Captain Mike Dio is racing with the 9-hole pick for second, but the way he trained the other day, he should put in a good mile on Monday. He was very, very good. Very, very good on in his last race, and very good training on Wednesday. Adeline and Ollie, come on, that's enough. Century Invictus was good. He's going to need another qualifier. You can tell James was very careful with him. Him and Harry are always super careful with them. He just let him coast up. They come 27-3 a mile and 59, I think. But he's definitely going to need another qualifier. Confederate Cruiser's going to school again this week. He and Procrastinator schooled the other day, but this guy's going to need another schooler, as Procrastinator will qualify on Thursday. Just really gauging their readiness, their race readiness on a week-by-week basis. Cruiser needs another trip. Procrastinator does not. Isa 10's ready to school on Friday. She looked good the other day training also. Garden State Dio, I trained her very hard at the farm yesterday, and she was very good. Oliver? And she was very, very good in training. Strong-wise, she was awesome. But as far as being ready to go right now, she's going to need some tinkering. So we'll take her over and school her this week, change her shoes, school her this week, gauge if that helped or not, and then go from there. So she's slated to school Friday at Mohawk. Grace is getting very close to being ready to go also. She looked good training yesterday. Very, very impressed with the way this filly has looked. Massive Profit is ready to race. He'll be in to go this week at Mohawk Raceway. Very happy with what I've seen from him. I told you guys 2 weeks ago, then last week, a little stronger but needed more work. Mile and 59 on Friday, he was much, much, much better. He just needed a little more work, a little more preparation before his first race. Matt's MVP has really turned the corner and turned into actually a nice colt. This colt showed a lot of tenacity to do his work and do it well this week, guys. Stop. To do his work and do it well this week at Northfield Park. Very, very impressed with this colt. Of Tom trained well. I'm going to go back and train her probably in the race bike in 210 this week at Northfield Park. I was really impressed with what I saw from her the other day. 1-2 skip a few, continues to gallop and get closer to the races. 1-2 skip a few, continues to get closer to the races. We'll gallop for another week and then put her in the race bike. Go mile in 2:8, 2:10. Peanut Butter and Jelly schooled in 2-1 the other day. She'll be back in to qualify. A lot of people asking, Addie, shh, Ollie, stop. Peanut Butter and Jelly will be in to qualify this week. A lot of people asked, hey, what happened with her last week? Why was she scratched out of the qualifier? I talked to Mario more about it, and I think he thought that maybe one more schooler before she qualified made more sense, and I completely agreed with him. So we simply took her out. She'll be back in to qualify this coming Friday. Procrastinator, one of the biggest surprises of the year. This horse trained really, really well off the gate at Northfield Park the other day. Very, very happy with what I've seen. I think we need to catch just one more red light on this road. Very happy with what I've seen from Procrastinator. Half in 57 the other day, a mile in 58 and a piece 59. I'd like to back him up, qualify him in a mile in 2 minutes and see how he looks. But man, he looked very, very good last week. Purple Aura, we got her CK down. She's jogging again now. I'll probably train her when I'm in Northfield this week. Either Jason will on Wednesday or I will on Thursday. She's back to start training. Her AST is still quite high, upwards of 3,000-4,000. But her CK's down so she can start training. She'll be back to normal, I think, another week or two. But as I said, we'll train her. I mean, she doesn't have to be 100% awesome to train a mile and a half, 220 speed. There won't be any problem in doing that. They can probably start back training her, actually, either, as I said, Jason Wednesday or me Thursday. Renegade Gypsy is going to the track to train this week with Mario. Resolute Bay, he schooled so good the other day. For those of you guys that have waited and hoped that this colt would turn around, man, he certainly has. 2 minutes last half, 58, and I mean a bow in his neck. He was just about as impressive as anybody on qualifying and schooling day last week at Mohawk. Slim Jimmy, they say he's training great. I personally have not gone with him, but Jason said the horse looks like $1 million. We'll see soon enough. Stonebridge Dolce's training. She's getting very close. Probably going to school her Thursday, 2.5, 2.6. Stonebridge Hikati is going to be racing this coming week at Flamborough Downs. Mario schooled him again, 2.3 last half and 1.1 a minute and a piece, he said. Yeah. Thought he was much, much better. Sweet on Pete, getting very, very close to being to schooling. I'll talk to Jason this week. We'll see what he says. 3 Point Blue Chip, Andy and Julie Miller are very, very pleased with this colt. I can express it to you this way. Julie Miller had asked me about buying into the colt last week, and I told her, Julie, I'm really sorry, but those shares are locked up pretty tight, and I know that we had one of the groups had sold a couple of shares off of 3 Point Blue Chip to Blue Chip Firms, and we were torn. That group was torn on that a little bit. So I'm certainly not going to force any issue, but I can tell you that they were actively looking for shares, so that just goes to show you what they think of him training down right now. Taiwan On looked amazing the other day. I trained her at Mohawk myself. Bow in her neck, 2.7, 2.6 in a piece, 2.7 I think. She was very strong. I imagine Harry will have her back this week for some more schooling work or training work. Tioga Sunshine, ready to win the bike. Probably train her in 2.8 this week. She trained her Saturday, so probably going to train her Wednesday morning. Either Wednesday morning, yeah, we'll train her Wednesday morning. I'll go last trip at 210 in the race bike at the farm with her. Twin B Habanero, a lot going on with Habanero. We come up a little sore after his last training trip. I spoke to our clients with this guy. He's not what I would call injured. He may have an OCD that needs to come out. They're doing a little more x-raying on him this week. Now, he's sound enough to jog. At training speeds, you can see a ripple in this colt. There is an OCD in his left hock. One is in his left ankle. Now, they don't believe the one in the hock's bothering him. It doesn't seem to be. There's no swelling. There's no issue there. But the one in the ankle's in a tricky spot, and they think it's causing some discomfort. So he may need to come home. He may need to come home and have that popped out real quick. It's really not going to be a big deal in the bigger scheme of things with this colt, but they do want to do a few more x-rays this week just to make sure there isn't something else going on. It's a very, very tricky part of the body. Remember that the pastern, the ankle joint, the sesamoid, that's all in that area there. Now, the vet believes the discomfort that we see on the track from him is caused from a small OCD in his ankle. I've spoke to our surgeon. If that is the case, it did block out. If that is the case and there's no other lines, bruising, soreness in that area, we can simply run him home, pop that OCD out, no problem, and continue on with him a couple of weeks off. So I was super pumped. Obviously, it's crappy news to hear, but it's not like a crack in a bone or a broken bone or a soft tissue issue. This is something we can correct and correct it pretty quickly. So Twinbee Habanero, I would call this maybe a minor speed bump in his career right now, but it needs to be addressed. He's too big to be fooling around moving forward. Twinkle in her eye schooled the other day and schooled pretty good. She'll be going back probably for another schooler on Friday. Unbeatable Kemp is ready to qualify, but we will school him Friday. He was awesome the other day. I was so impressed with how he looked.
Didn't jump over anything.
No, he was perfect. He was all business the other day, a bow in his neck finishing up. He's ready to school in about 2 minutes, and he looked good. Voyage of Ice and Fire, gone. We sold him the other day. He's gone. So Will to Win Hanover, schooled in 2 minutes, 2-1. But as I said, 2 qualifiers, 2 races, and then we'll talk about Will to Win Hanover. She was good the other day, but still needs a lot more track work yet. World for 2 is going over to train this week at Mohawk, and then he will be slated to qualify soon. We're aiming for first part of April for him going to the Meadows. We'll see how that plays out. So that's all your horses. That's everybody. That's everything that's gone on and everything that will go on this week. I will talk to you all very, very soon. Perfect timing. We just arrived home.